if you don't improve, your life will remain stagnant. And if you're stagnant, that means you are regressing. That's just what it is, because you have to adapt that kind of a mindset that tells you that if you're not moving ahead, it means that you're moving behind. Hey folks, welcome back to Alflex podcast. My name is Alex. So in this video, I want to talk about 6 stages of self-improvement. Simply because at the end of the day, I've been watching and I've been seeing a lot of people who are just remaining the same for years. You find a person, you ask them, What's new? What's new?" And this dude is not nothing. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, bro? Time is running out on us. And you're saying that you didn't improve in any way. It doesn't make any sense. So, folks, I want us to talk about the 6 stages of improvement, because, as a matter of fact, we have to understand very well. If you're not progressing, then you are regressing, as a matter of fact. So, if you don't improve, your life will remain stagnant. And if you're stagnant, that means you are regressing. That's just what it is, because you have to adapt that kind of a mindset that tells you that if you're not moving ahead, it means that you're moving behind. That is what it is. So, folks, the first thing that indicates your improvement process is pain. The first thing is pain. What do I mean with this? The pain comes in when you are faced with challenges in life. You see your people suffering, you don't have food, you are going hungry oftenly and such kind of a thing. You are running out of money every now and then. You are stressed out about the bills and such kind of a thing. And you don't have much money, amount of money or such kind of, or you are some kind of struggling, and you are angry about your pain and struggles. And this is the first stage of everyone, simply because a lot of us experience this kind of pain simply because we don't have what we need yet, we don't have that dream yet, and we end up living a life with this pain without being in a position of elevating, simply because we are so focused on the pain to a point that we don't think of the next step. The pain is the thing that tells us that I'm now pissed off, I'm now angry about the situation that I'm in life, and I'm going to change it. This is the first step. And if you are in this step, of which a lot of us are in, simply because a lot of us are broke, a lot of us don't, and I don't assume, but what I say is that if you have money, then we need more. That is what it is. So, as a matter of fact, this is the first stage. Pain, the pain of not being in a position where you want to be in life, the pain of struggling, or maybe tiny minute struggling and such kind of a thing. And these are the things that we have to be in a position of leveraging as energy, because if you don't learn at this stage how to use that pain as pure force of energy, then as a matter of fact, you will use it to destroy yourself. This is where you find a lot of people try to distract themselves from the pain. They try to distract themselves by going to nightclubs, partying, drinking alcohol, doing a lot of garbage things, smoking weed, watching porn, masturbating, these kind of things. And they kind of destroy themselves simply because in the name of relieving their stress and such kind of a thing. And that way they never face it. That means, they're never going to the next step. They are stuck in the pain, and as a matter of fact, they will be stuck until they die. That is just what it is. Because those are cycles that you are creating. You are creating the cycles of failure. So you have to understand at this stage, this is when you have to train yourself, force yourself, face the pain, stop escaping from it, understand what this pain is wanting from you. If you don't have money, that is pain enough, and you are seeing your people suffering, you're angry about that. What the fuck? Instead of going and drinking some alcohol and doing such kind of bullshit, sit down and just understand, how can I fix it? How can I fix this thing? How can I be in a position of doing something that will help me? And that ushers us into the next stage, that is realization. Realization is the stage whereby you're like, I'm gonna do this thing, whatever it takes. Like, now you're past that stage of pain. Now you are redirecting that pain towards action. Now you are trying to aikido that pain towards action, and you say enough is enough. This is where you say enough is enough. I'm going to change my life, whatever it freaking takes. This is the stage of realization where you decide, you make that decision, you flip the switch, and then you say, never again. I'm never going to be broke again, and I'm going to be working every freaking day. Boom. This is the second stage of development, realization. So the third stage of development is contemplation. Contemplation, this is a stage whereby you find doubt, you are thinking, you are trying to conceptualize everything, you are processing everything in your brain, you are trying to make it perfect or such kind of a thing, thinking that if you make it perfect in some way, then at the end of the day it will end up well. And this is where a lot of people make mistakes, simply because they get caught up in analysis paralysis to a point that they never do any action. They never kick in action. They think that by thinking, or by thinking about something or such kind of a thing, by planning too much, they will be in a position of pulling it off even better. And that is a mistake that a lot of people do, simply because they never end up going to the next stage. They get stuck in this stage. They think, thinking that they are making a perfect plan or such kind of a thing, and at the end of the day they never do anything about it. And this is where you contemplate, you have doubts, you allow doubts to stop you along the way. You allow people speaking against you, like to just hinder you from doing what you're supposed to do. You fear losing your friends or such kind of a thing. You are just contemplating, you are thinking, you're just thinking, you are just caught up in your brain, and you are not doing anything that is helping you to elevate. And that is a mistake that you have to avoid. As a matter of fact, avoid over contemplation, just think briefly and then kick into action. And that ushers us into the next step, that is hustle, your capacity to be in a position of grinding, grinding every day, having a procedure that you're following every day, a script that you wrote for yourself, and just say, I'm going to do this until I become successful. Every day you wake up, you do this and that and that and that. You don't waste time. Boom. The grinding stage. This is where that you decide to hustle in and out, day in, day out, until you get where you want to be. That is what it is, folks. You have to understand that this stage is one of the most important stages, simply because you have to work even when you don't feel like working. That is what it is. Whenever you feel more pain working, whenever you feel like you don't want to go to the gym or such kind of a thing, this is when you have to work. That is when you have to even do the work more. And that is what it is. This is a stage whereby you have to push yourself to hustle. You have to push yourself to do the work, no matter what, whatever it takes. And if you can't be in a position of pushing yourself at this stage, then that means being successful is something that you have to avoid. That is what it is. So you have to be ready to be in a position of elevating one step at a time, becoming successful, boom, and putting in the work every day, having a procedure that you are following. And this way, it will usher you in towards building that person that you want in life. That is what it is. So the 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 fifth thing is taking a leap of faith, being in a position of just letting go of everything that is holding you behind. You know, but yes, you're in the grind stage, but you have to understand very well that unless you just believe in what you're doing, the stage of belief, unless you believe in what you're doing is going to be successful, then as a matter of fact, it is never going to be. This is when you have to believe in what you are doing as much as possible, to a point that you can do anything, even if you're not getting paid for the work that you are doing. Even if you're not getting paid, nobody is seeing your work, is nobody is recognizing your work. This is when you have to believe yourself more. That is what it is. So without belief, as a matter of fact, you can't do anything. Without that belief in yourself, without belief in what you're doing, as a matter of fact, it is never going to get anywhere. And that way, with people seeing that you are believing in yourself, you're believing in your product, you're believing in the service that you're offering, as a matter of fact, they can usher you into the next stage, which is treasure. And this is the moment whereby that work that you have been doing, all the things, all the work that you have been investing in and such kind of a thing, they all pay off, and you end up becoming successful. You end up arriving to that stage whereby you are looking up to when you are in the first stage of pain. And that is what it is. So folks, you have to understand very well, all these stages are things that you have to go through, simply because we're human beings and we want something, and we start off by getting pissed off that we don't have it until we work ourselves off until we get where we want to be. And that is what it is, folks. I don't have much to say for today. If you already learned something, consider subscribing, liking, sharing, commenting. Yeah, it's something that I don't really take for granted. So thank you so much for watching to this very end. See you in the next one. Adios.